Israel says it targeted Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in strikes on Beirut. Source close to Hezbollah has claimed Nasrallah is fine. Meanwhile, Iran's security officials are checking his status as chief's fate remains unknown still. In response to the Israeli strikes on Beirut, Hezbollah targeted Safed, the Israeli city of Safed in northern Israel, with rockets, causing property damage, but no injuries have been reported so far. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, speaking at the UNGA, put a choice before the world to choose between Israel's map of blessings or Iran's map of curse. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this morning our focus remains to be on the Middle East and the escalations taking place in between the two nations currently. Well, explosions shook Beirut, Lebanon's capital, on Friday night as Israel ramped up its military operations against the outfit Hezbollah. Earlier in the day, Israeli airstrikes targeted the city, with the military stating that its mission was very simple: to degrade and dismantle Hezbollah's central headquarters and military capabilities. Let's take you through this ground report that we bring to you with regards to what exactly were the airstrikes like and the aftermath of these given airstrikes that's taken place on Friday night.
Clouds of smoke rose over Beirut on Friday following an Israeli airstrike that shook the Lebanese capital. It was by far the most powerful attack carried out by Israel in the city during nearly a year of conflict with Hezbollah. UN spokesperson Stefan Dujarric emphasized the global body's concern over the attack during a press briefing.
We are watching the developments unfold in Beirut with great alarm.
An Israeli source was cited in the news outlet Axios as saying Hezbollah leader Syed Hassan Nasrallah was the target of the strike. A source close to Hezbollah told Reuters that Nasrallah was alive, while Iran's Tasnim news agency also reported he was safe. Iran-backed Hezbollah's Al-Manar television reported that 4 buildings were destroyed and there were many casualties in the multiple strikes. Rescue crews could be seen on site here, pulling 2 children who are alive from the rubble. The Israeli military said it had carried out a, quote, precise strike on Hezbollah's headquarters. Israel has struck Beirut's southern suburbs 4 times over the last week, killing at least 3 senior Hezbollah military commanders and more than 700 people in the country. In a televised statement, Israeli military spokesperson Daniel Hagari said the Central Command Center was embedded deep within civilian areas.
I didn't intend to come here this year.
The strikes hit Beirut shortly after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to continue Israel's attacks on Iranian-backed fighters in Lebanon in a closely watched United Nations speech, as hopes faded for a ceasefire that could head off an all-out regional war.
The United States was not involved in this operation, and we had no advanced warning.
Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh told reporters Friday that while the U.S. was not told in advance about the Beirut strike, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin did speak with his Israeli counterpart as the operation was ongoing. Singh declined to say what Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant told Austin about the operation and whether it indeed targeted Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. The Pentagon also declined to speculate on whether the Hezbollah leader was still alive.
Now, so far, the Lebanese Health Ministry has reported that at least 2 people were killed and 76 others were wounded in these strikes. Later, Israeli fighter jets targeted Hezbollah installations in Lebanon, including weapon launchers and storage sites. Now, in response, Hezbollah has also retaliated and fired a barrage of rockets into the Israeli city of Safed, marking the first major retaliation since Israel's strikes on Beirut's southern suburbs earlier in the day. Now, the region remains on high alert as tensions escalate between the two sides, as can be seen in the visuals, the deadly attacks, the airstrikes that's taken place in Beirut on Friday night. These are the visuals that we are bringing to you of this particular attack that's taken place. Thick clouds of smoke could be seen rising over Beirut on Friday night following an Israeli airstrike that shook the Lebanese capital. Remember, these escalations continue to take place between, as what's been said by the Israeli military officers as well as the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. These escalations are strictly between Israel and Hezbollah, the outfit, and not the people of Lebanon, something that's been reiterated by the Israeli counterparts again and again. And warnings were issued by the Israeli Prime Minister as well for the people of Lebanon to get out of harm's way. And they even said that Hezbollah is using people of Lebanon as human shields in the way they have been escalating their attacks on Israel and using people on the other side so that Israel cannot retaliate in a similar fashion. However, things have escalated since the first few attacks that were exchanged between both these nations, and now this is one of the deadliest airstrikes that's taken place in Beirut. By far the most powerful attack that's been carried out by Israel in the city during nearly a year of conflict with Hezbollah, as can be seen from the visual. The kind of aftermath that was seen after this explosion with regards to the damage that could be seen that has in fact taken place in the area where this airstrike was targeting. Remember, the Israeli army has come out to say that their mission is simple. They want to wipe out the Hezbollah central headquarters in Lebanon, dismantle and degrade it. These are the exact words, or rather this is the phrase that's been used by the Israeli army. Well, we at News9 are going into the depths of these attacks. What was the purpose of this attack? What was the mission of this attack that's been launched by Israel on the Hezbollah outfit? We'll take you through all the details. Let's get into one major aspect of what the Israeli army has said, that their target was the Hezbollah leader Nasrallah. Let's take a look at what these attacks have been like and how they in fact targeted the Hezbollah leader. A wave of Israeli air raids hit Beirut's southern suburbs early Saturday, targeting Hezbollah after a major strike on the group's command center. Suspense is growing over the status of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah after Israel bombed Hezbollah's headquarters on September 27th, just after the Israeli Prime Minister's UN speech. These are the visuals of this deadly attack that's taken place. The Times of Israel reported rising suspicions that Nasrallah may have been killed in the attack. A senior Israeli official said the top Hezbollah commanders were targeted. Hezbollah sources told Reuters that Nasrallah is alive, with Iran's Tasnim news agency also confirming his safety. The Israeli military said that they had killed Hezbollah's missile unit commander Mohammad Ali Ismail and his deputy Hossein Ahmad Ismail. Lebanese health authorities have confirmed 6 people killed and 91 wounded in the Friday's strike, as now the death toll and both the toll for injuries, people who have in fact sustained injuries, has risen. The fourth attack in the week on Hezbollah-controlled areas that we bring to you here. Targeted Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah with an airstrike on the group's headquarters in Beirut, as we were mentioning. The mission with which this attack was launched to dismantle and degrade the central headquarters of the Hezbollah outfit. Heaviest attack that's been seen on the Lebanese capital in almost 2 decades, and a major escalation of a conflict that threatens to engulf the Middle East at this given hour. West Asia, or rather the Middle East, seems to be on the brink of war, with such deadly attacks continuing to take place. Israeli Defense Forces carried out a precise strike Friday on a command center of the Iran-backed militant group, which was located under residential buildings and is still assessing the results, as per what's been said by their spokesman, Daniel Hagari. Israel believes that Nasrallah was at the site of the attack, according to an Israeli official who asked not to be identified, discussing these sensitive information. However, the reports coming in from Lebanon has stated that Nasrallah is fine and hasn't been harmed in these attacks. From what we know so far, Lebanon's health ministry has said 6 people confirmed death, with the toll set to rise, as it was, as we were mentioning towards the beginning of this bulletin, that it was 2 who were dead. But now the death toll has risen to 6. With that, as we speculate over whether or not Nasrallah's alive, let's take you through who is Nasrallah. Now, speculations have been on about his status, whether he is alive, whether he has been injured at all in this attack. And these have been doing rounds after the Israeli Defense Forces carried out these precise strikes in Beirut, bringing down the central headquarters of Hezbollah. So who is Hassan Nasrallah? Let's take you through his profile now. Hezbollah's long-time chief. He began his term since 1992. He is the 3rd Secretary General of Hezbollah. He had in fact succeeded Abbas al-Musawi, who was killed by Israel as well. He is Hezbollah's founding member and had taken over after the airstrike in 1992. Nasrallah led Hezbollah in 2006 war with Israel, claims 1 lakh soldiers under his command. He is known for the Fardi missile strikes on Israel. In fact, he expanded Hezbollah's regional influence in the area, led Hezbollah through multiple conflicts. He is a popular leader for the outfit Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, that is. He's held higher ranks in the Lebanese resistance regiments before being a part of the Hezbollah outfit. This is in fact the profile of Nasrallah that we are bringing to you. Remember, this Beirut strike was clearly aimed at the particular headquarters, and from what it seems, it was aimed, the target here was the Hezbollah leader Nasrallah himself. Well, those were some of the latest updates that we're bringing to you from the escalations continuing in the Middle East. We are now slipping into a short break, but do stay tuned to News 9 as we come back with more updates shortly on the other side.